welcome to Retro Music Review UK. My name's Roger Swift, back here with another retro music review where I take songs from the past, play them and tell you what I think about them. And it's been about 3 weeks, nearly a month since I last did a video on this channel. That's just because I've been busy with another project. So apologies for that, I'm finally getting around to doing another video. And today I'm going to do a song that, this is actually the most recent song I've ever done on this channel because it's from the year 2000. I've done the oldest song on the channel, which was the Electric Light Orchestra's Mr. Blue Sky. That was from 1973, I think, was it? Or 79? I can't remember. I'm not an expert on the 70s like I am with the 90s. But we're going to do the most recent one now. We're going to do a song from the year 2000. So first time we've gone that far, gone that recent. I know it's still 19 years ago, but still recent for me by this channel standards. So we're going to do a song that recently came back to my attention when I found an interesting fact out about it, because I didn't know this for years and years. We're going to do a song which is by a guy called DJ Kline, and the song is called I Don't Smoke. Now, as I understand it, when this was originally in the clubs, it was actually called I Don't Smoke the Reefa, and they dropped the dropped the Reefa bit off the end for the commercial release and just called it I Don't Smoke, for reasons that will become clear when I play the song. Now, what I didn't know about this song is, I'll tell you about my little bit of a history with this song, which is they used to play this on The Box, the TV channel The Box on Sky back in the day, back in 19 years ago in the year 2000. I would frequently see this song being played on The Box. I also heard it on the UK Top 40 Countdown. I never actually owned this back at the time, because by the year 2000, that's when I was starting to almost not care anymore. The 90s were over, and Euro trance and that kind of thing was on the way out, and garage music was on the way in, and I was never really into garage. So I kind of was starting to lose interest by that point. This is sort of on that line where I was just beginning to lose interest in everything. But I remember this one. So I was already starting to not buy as many chart records, chart singles as I had been by the year 2000. So I didn't end up buying this back in the day. But I do remember thinking it was funny, and it was a bit of a novelty. I didn't dislike it. I just thought it was a bit of a funny novelty song. I still treat it as such. It's not like it's a good song. It's just it's just quite funny in a way. But what I remember doing was thinking, if I'm not going to pay you full price for this, but if I ever see it in the Asda or Woolworths bargain bin, remember those, remember that? The Asda and Woolworths bargain bin, and it was like 50p or £1, I would have bought it, but I never did. So the song is a garage track. Now, garage had started to come in by that point. Craig David's and the Artful Dodgers, Rewind When the Crowd Say Bo Selector, which is now, I suppose, a classic, you might say. That had been a hit about a year before. We also had Oxide and Neutrinos Bound for Da Reload, with its casualty sampling and Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrel dialogue sampling. And this was another one that off the same bat. This sort of came around the same sort of not long after. And what I didn't know about this song is basically it's like a sort of garage music's got like two-step. It's dance music, but it's sort of garage is a bit hard to explain to people. I was never into it, to repeat myself, but this song uses a sample of audio dialogue in it, which for years and years, up until about a month ago, I genuinely thought was like sampled off an old public information advert. I'm going to spoil it before I play the song. Just smoke, Paul? No, I don't. Me neither. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't smoke cigar. I don't smoke a pipe. I don't smoke the reefer. That's the actual audio riff in it. And I always assumed that from the way it sounds, it was sampled off like an old public information advert from the 70s, like an anti-smoking thing, is what my mind always thought when I heard it. I've now discovered, a month ago, that it's actually a sample from, it's actually Marcus Brigstocke, the actor and stand-up comedian. And he starred in a Channel 4 sketch show that was a late-night thing called Barking. Now, I was aware of Barking. I knew it existed. I'd never actually watched it, but I knew what it was. It also had Catherine Tate and David Walliams in it. It's kind of one of them cult things now that's kind of before it was kind of for a lot of it was like their first TV gig, as I understand it. Never saw it at the time, was aware of it more recently, been doing stand-up and things. I'd become aware that it existed, hadn't seen any of it. But what I now know is that it was actually a sketch in the TV show Barking, which was like a reoccurring sketch in each episode where it was Marcus Brigstocke and one of the other guys, and there were pilots on a plane talking to each other, and that was the dialogue. It was just them talking to each other.
Do you smoke, Paul?
No, I don't.
Me neither. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't smoke cigars. I don't smoke a pipe. I don't smoke the reefer. So thank you to keep your stinking cigarettes off my flight deck.
That's chalk for the specials board, Captain.
Oh, I am sorry.
So what they did was they took that sketch and sampled it into this garage track, and DJ Kline, they never had another, whoever DJ Kline is, I don't know. I know nothing about the artist other than that this is the only song that they ever released. Looking at the artwork, as you can see, it's supposed to be like, you know, like the smoke that comes off a bong, as I understand it. Now, I live a bit of a sheltered life in that sense that I've never touched drugs in my life, nor ever will I. I've got Marmite, that's my drug. But I've never smoked a cigarette, never done pot, I've never touched drugs. But I'm culturally aware that, like, you know, they have that bong thing and all the smoke coming off it, it makes you high. I'm not that much, but, you know, you might say I live a sheltered life in that respect. So I'm no expert on it, but I know that that's what that's meant to be on the cover there. The CD itself is just plain black with a border on it, and we have several mixes on there. It's East West. Yeah, the record label is East West. There's no mention in here. 2000 Warner Music. There's no mention in the writing here. It says thanks to several people here, but there's no actual here. There's nothing here that actually says what the sample is. It does. Oh, hang on. It does say here. It says it says thanks to Channel 4 Television. That's all it says. So, but I didn't own this back in the day, like I said. So anyway, repeating myself over and over and over. A certain friend of mine will point that out in the comments, no doubt. We're going to put a song on now, and I'll for you to have a listen. Now, Dan's garage music just kind of has these basic 4 steps, and then you've got this like sampled acoustic guitar loop. The song will start playing any second now. This is all automatic, the system here now. So when it decides to play, here we go. So you've got your core samples here. This musically wouldn't be my kind of thing normally, but I kind of liked it for novelty value. I still do.
No, I don't. Me neither. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't smoke cigars. I don't smoke a pipe.
That's obviously a loop. They keep looping him saying that. See, what's weird now is I can clearly hear it's his voice.
I don't smoke the reefer.
Even that. They start distorting the samples as the song goes on as well, I think. That's them like distorting the samples and things like slowing it down, speeding it up. I didn't know that was his voice. Of course, now I know, and I listen to it, it's loud and clear, that's Marcus Brigstock, but I didn't ever... You've also got this like... That's quite like a... You've got like a fat... Garage music kind of has the same trope to it. It's kind of got that, with the bass line, that kind of fat bass.
You smoke, Paul? I don't smoke the reefer.
This is really cutting up the sketch now.
You smoke, Paul? I don't smoke the reefer.
The acoustic guitar riff, which is just a loop.
You smoke, Paul?
No, I don't.
Me neither. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't smoke cigars. I don't smoke a pipe.
It kind of works though, you know.
I don't smoke the reefer.
This was kind of an underground hit, as actually before it went into the charts. This was like an underground hit. I can kind of see people in like a sort of garage underground kind of club, you know, bopping and. I like what they've done there, where they've really had to distort the sample to try and make it fit. Yeah, that's really stretching the distortion. I think it's over in a second. This is the radio edit, which is only 2 minutes and 57 seconds, so we'll be over in a second. I don't know what they're saying there, but it's distorted. And there's not a lot to say. It's just your basic guitar, your basic garage tropes all just cut together, based around this audio riff. Audio cue sample. Now we cut it down to the basic. So that was a DJ Kline's I Don't Smoke from the year 2000 on CD single. I've been Roger Swift, this has been Retro Music Review UK. Please hit subscribe for more videos.